Hi, I'm Andy McCarl. I work for IBM in the Technical Support Department of the Security Division. I'm here to talk to you a bit about how IBM is supercharging our support with Influitive. My journey with Influitive started in early 2019. Prior to that, there were other sales, marketing, and development groups that had Influitive hubs, but there was nothing for technical support. We initially launched our program, IBM VIP Rewards, for several hubs for IBM Cloud, Data and AI, IT infrastructure, Watson, and security. The idea was to engage with our clients to raise awareness of all the resources that we had available to assist them online offerings, services, live events, etc., and to keep them engaged with IBM support by allowing them to earn points in our community for their efforts. One thing that I've heard over and over again is it's easier to keep a client than to get a new client. And we wanted to build engagement with our clients so that we could help keep them as IBM clients. In IBM Security, we had our hub soft launch in February 2019 in conjunction with a live event, and we had a public launch in early April. Ours is an open hub, meaning that anybody can come and join and participate. And though we would have liked to, we couldn't, in fact, send invitations to our technical support customers due to GDPR restrictions. Even though the rules only apply to the European Union, IBM, it's a global enterprise, so we're complying with all the limitations. So, in order to raise awareness of the program, we engaged all the usual suspects: social media campaigns, presence at events, email signatures, and the like. We set up reference challenges, and we encouraged word of mouth from our advocates. We worked hard to make sure that we had good challenges posted and we had new materials at a regular pace. And all of that is to say that after a few months, we were still a bit underwhelmed with how things were going in terms of gaining advocates. So we initially investigated the Advocate Anywhere technology. It looked really great, but there wasn't really a good way for us to slip that into our underlying technology, and we really couldn't use it across all of IBM because the program didn't apply to all of IBM. But somewhere along the line, I realized that Influitive also had this API, and I had the idea that we might be able to make that work instead. One thing that IBM Security has that other business units did not have was a program called IBM Security Learning Academy. It's a free learning resource portal. It had been around for a few years, and at the time, it already had a built in customer base of over 10,000 users. So, looked like something that we could really potentially take advantage of. We were the first group in IBM to set out to do an integration using the Influitive API, so we were kind of leading the charge there. The program leads were excited, the developers for the Security Learning Academy were excited, and of course, we as the Influitive admins were excited as well. Let me show you how that integration looks. So this is the IBM Security Learning Academy. You can see there's kind of a rolling banner here. One of the advertisements on it is IBM VIP Rewards. And we also have this banner at the top, which is to direct people to IBM VIP Rewards, or actually, in this case, information about it. So we can click on either one of these two, and it takes you to a course. Everything within the Learning Academy is a course on how to get engaged with IBM VIP Rewards. Talks about joining it, talks about opting in. That's the GDPR part. Again, there's a video just kind of explaining what the program is. Then there's a link to be able to go and actually join the hub. There's also a program that we have internally that is set up on Influitive. If you're an IBM employee, then you actually see this. If you're a client, then you actually don't see this. But if you follow this, then it will have you go and join our internal hub so that IBMers will be able to complete courses and get points within our internal IBM hub. And then again, we kind of talked about GDPR a little bit. This is the opt-in section. You actually have to go and update your profile and say, hey, yes, I want to be part of IBM VIP Rewards, because otherwise we would be transferring your personal information to IBM VIP Rewards, and that's something that you have to opt into, and according to GDPR standards. So how do we then implement this? You can see the courses that are available that have challenges by looking at this graphic. In the case of Guardium, at this point there were 4 challenges available, and then when you were actually looking at a course, there was a little trophy icon available with those too. We keep a list of the current courses that we're using, and you can get those from a spreadsheet. I'll go over to that real quick. And in the spreadsheet, it has all of the different courses that are available, all the different course titles and topics, so that you can, as a customer, go in here and take a look at these, and take a look at the ones that you might want to go out and partake in. So going back to here, we will go and take a look at Guardium, which we talked about before. Here are the ones that are available and the different kinds of categories that are available. You can see here there are 6 challenge courses. When you go out to those, you can see that each one of those has the little trophy icon. So it's pretty easy. And people can come out here, and as soon as they complete the course, then just as soon as they're done with the course completion, then they are rewarded points over in the academy. There really isn't any kind of notification system that we were able to implement to say, hey, congratulations, you've earned 50 points or anything like that. That's just the way that the integration works at this point. So after we got that integration off the ground and started advertising that, we immediately began to see an impact in our hub. We were really excited because we knew that advocates that were coming from the Learning Academy were already engaged in serious IBM users, or they wouldn't have been out in the Security Learning Academy. But as much as our group in security benefited from the Security Learning Academy integration, the overall program had a much bigger target in mind, the IBM Support Forums, which would benefit everyone. The support forums have been a much more complicated process due to the integration with Salesforce, due to a number of improvements that we had that were going on with development in the forums, and the overall logistics of the implementation. In mid-July, after extensive testing, the IBM Support Forum integration went live. Let me show you what that looks like from a client perspective. With both the Security Learning Academy and with the IBM VIP Rewards program in our support forums, you do have to log in and have an IBM ID that uses single sign-on. So that way we're assured that they're going to have the same email address within IBM and Influitive. So let's go out to the forum. The first time that you come in, you're going to see this pop up. Bright green says, hey, IBM VIP Rewards program. You can learn more there. If you click on the learn more there, it's going to take you to a page that has more information about IBM VIP Rewards. You get a chance to sign in. Just kind of talks about it, gives a frequently asked questions. And then in the forum themselves, let me go ahead and dismiss that. You can see with every question that has an associated product, which is a product that we are representing within IBM VIP Rewards. And again, that kind of goes back to the initial 5 sets of products that we were talking about before. Then you'll see IBM VIP reward points available. So pretty much that's the way it works. You can ask a question, tag it with the product that's associated, and you'll get points. You can answer a question that is associated with the product, and you'll get points. Or if your answer is selected by the person who asked the question as the best answer, then you will also get points for that. So there's 3 different ways that you can earn points here within the forums, and those points will get reflected in our IBM VIP Rewards hub. There's also this little side panel that we have that's over here. Again, it's kind of a learn more, so you can go out there and click that and learn more. So it's fairly simple. I mean, the representation of how this thing works is pretty straightforward, and people can come out here like they would normally be doing anyway. And even if they're not registered for IBM VIP Rewards, again, we've created the program in a way that they'll still get points. One change that we implemented with the forum integration and now with the Learning Academy integration is how users get points. Originally, we checked to see if a Learning Academy user was an advocate in the hub, which we could because both systems were based on the same single sign-on. And then if they were an advocate, we'd give them points. When we implemented the API integration with the support forum, we coded the calls differently so that if a person was not an advocate, they would become a nominee in the system and be given the points anyway. That way, when they finally did come to the hub and signed up, they would have points waiting for them. Let me show you how that looks from the inside. So this is our happy hub, IBM VIP Rewards. And you can see we've got a number of different channels and representation from different product areas in here. Under the IBM support area, which is kind of general to all of these different product areas, we have 3 challenges that are set up. And on the surface, there are 0 points, but those are set up to give you information about answering questions, asking questions, getting best answer choices on the IBM Support Forums. So let's take a little bit of look behind the scenes. So if you go under Settings Integrations, then these are the integrations that we have currently set up. You can see the Influitive API is one of those. If you look under Settings and Event Types, you can set up custom event types. If you've never had to do that, you probably haven't been in here. But you can see that we have answer and ask and best answer as custom event types. And then in the challenges that we were talking about, you can see this is the ask a question challenge. There is an API stage. Here we see the allowed event types, ask a question, the API code, which has to be defined. And then over here, we can see that there is activity that is coming in. And because these people do not have a profile yet set up, they will show up as unknown nominee. But you can see that they've asked questions. Yeah, here's one down here and has asked a question, but that's actually somebody who has an ID set up. And over here, we have a report that we can run that includes the three different event types that we have: ask a question, answer a question. I'm not sure if I see one that's a best answer here yet, but if we scroll down, let's see where we are right now, 246. So since we've turned this on, we've had 246 questions or answers or best answers chosen within our support forums, and this was turned on mid-July, I think July 14th or 15th. So again, we're really pleased with the way that this is going, and now we're going to be starting to work on getting some of these people who are nominees over into our hub as advocates. One thing that we plan to include is a way to present to that user within the support forum how many points they've already earned, which we hope will be more of an incentive for them to actually come and join the hub and gain the points. Implementing the Influitive API technology has overall been a really great experience. Our developers have been impressed and appreciative of the thorough documentation that was available for the API. They found the calls to be simple, straightforward, easy to test either within the documentation environment or with other development programs. The forum integration apparently is essentially completely driven by two API calls. There were a few touch points with the Influitive support team for some basic questions, but the developers that I talked to were absolutely pleased with their interactions with Influitive. If you're going to take on an API integration, understand that 95% of the work is going to be on your program's side. It's going to be figuring out how the business processes work on that side, what you give points for, coding, how that's displayed to the user in that environment, meeting any opt-in GDPR requirements, etc. The Influitive API part is the easy, though powerful part. The more you control the code of the program you would like to use for your integration, the better. Again, we've had great success with this. It was a path that was open and available for us when other paths were not going to work out for us. So we've really enjoyed and appreciated the fact that this was there for us to be able to take advantage of, and we're really reaping the benefits in our program. That said, I hope that you will check out the Influitive API and see what it can do for your program. Thanks for your time today.